figure lifestyles. So she's worked with people across Singapore, Shanghai, and San Francisco. Wow, that's actually really... So basically across 4 continents. Welcome, Ying Han! Feel free to grab a chair, by the way. Sorry. Feel free to grab a chair.
Free to sit down.
Sit down.
Grab a chair. Get yourself comfortable. Such a beautiful crowd. Just wiggle in. All right. So I have a question for you guys. I'm just gonna wait till those guys sit down as well. All right. So who here would love to have more passion? Awesome. And who here would like to turn their passions into actions? Nice. So welcome to Make Your Big Impact, aligning your passions to ambitions. I'd really like to acknowledge the One Salon community. Eva, Wenli, where is he? And Kim. This is such an amazing community to be brought together. And I'm sure you guys already know just the quality of people and the friendships that you make here. It's just so amazing. And I really thank you guys for the support and also creating such an amazing space for everyone to be at. Thank you. I want to acknowledge you guys as well for being here. Being here for yourselves, for standing in your power and standing in yourselves to notice that passions mean something to you. And taking acknowledgement of that space inside of you and that curiosity to dive in deeper and to understand more about what matters to you. And knowing also the value of knowing that in order to create something else out of it. So, can I tell you a little bit more about why I am so passionate about this topic? Awesome, great. So right now, there we go. Password. I love my life right now. It's really been amazing. This trip has been an amazing time in San Francisco. I actually live in Singapore, and I've been traveling so much in the last year, doing exactly what I want to do, in the way that I want to do it, with the people that I want to do it with. And it's been an incredible experience just to be able to have that amount of freedom, fun, and inspired connections. But it wasn't always like that. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Technical problems. So it wasn't always like that. So I still remember being in the corporate world in Ogilvy and Mather, like an advertising firm, clogging away and doing a lot of creative activities and being an amazing team of people who managed marketing campaigns across 7 countries in Singapore. And being a part of that team, it was top-notch and amazing, and you got the status, you got the recognition, but inside, deep down, I wasn't satisfied, and I wasn't happy. And no matter what I did to fill my time with passions and travels and paintings and motorcycling and just doing all these different activities that I wanted to do, I still came back and realized that there was something that was missing inside. And I kept looking around for more and more things to engage me. And it wasn't until that health became a problem that I realized that there's something that I needed to do about it. I remember that there was this underlying feeling of anxiety that I felt like, okay, like, am I really going to have this picture-perfect life, doing all these amazing things, but yet feel deep down inside empty? Or am I going to do something about it? And the wake-up call was when finally I had an eating disorder that came back and smacked me in the face and said, hey, we got to do something about this. And it was at that moment that I couldn't not do anything about it anymore. So I still remember finding out every single possible way to get rid of it. You know, doctors, going to spiritual retreats, studying mind-body connection, and none of that worked until the moment where I was on a 48-hour journey. It's kind of a shamanic journey. And in that moment, there was one moment where I was deep down, I was sitting in my bed, and it was quiet all around me. And I asked myself this question: am I really going to get rid of this? Is this really going to be over? And from somewhere deep down inside of me, and I don't know where it came from, just emerged an answer: yes. And then I asked myself that question again, like, can I actually do what I really want to do, which at that point is helping other people and impacting lives instead of bottom lines of businesses? An answer came up again. And it was that same deep place that it came from, and it was that yes that originated deep down inside and came out. And so when I knew that that answer was so strongly connected to me, I knew that I had the ability to quit my job and to really go on this journey. So, growing up, like I said earlier, I always wanted to be liked. And I said yes to everybody else besides myself. I said yes to my dad a lot, so much so that he's a chemical engineer, so I ended up doing chemistry in all of these schools and trying to follow his footsteps, try to make him connect with me. And it wasn't until I realized that all I wanted to do was to combine everything that I learned into one big collaborated area that I realized that that's what I wanted to do rather than having different disciplines. So when I say yes to myself, so that's the Ask Myself page. So today, what I do is that I help people, entrepreneurs, high-flying, ambitious people find out what their passions are and turning them into action. And I get to do this all over the world. And from all of the experience that I've had, created systems in order to help people get there. So some of the activities that I've done so far in San Francisco is create different groups, including something last week, which was with a friend of mine. We did a retreat for women in circles and empowering that creativity to come out as well. So when I said yes to me, so many different things happened. When you say yes to yourself, and when that yes comes out from inside of you, different things happen, right? Like when you're not saying yes to somebody else, external factors, someone outside, different opportunities show up. So when I said yes to myself, and I decided to take a master's in innovation, my company suddenly offered to sponsor a part of it. When I said yes to myself, I got a scholarship to my neurolinguistics master's. And when I said yes to myself, different opportunities showed up to support the dreams that I had. For example, going to Africa for the first time alone, and etc. And there's so many things, including living in multiple cities at the same time, that became possible as well. So I'm going to give you everything I can in the next 20 minutes that we have left. And don't worry, if you want to stay connected, I'm going to be right here after the talk and we can talk more and dive deeper. So when I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. And I want you guys to all say that together with me. When I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. And feel it. And again, when I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. And just feel it in your body, what that feels like when you're saying yes. So imagine, and you can do this eyes closed if you wish, imagine yourself having said yes to yourself in all of these areas in your life. Not only just your careers, but also the relationships that you have. Perhaps saying yes to what you need in your family life, in your surroundings. Maybe even in the place that you live in right now. And yes to those dreams that you've always dreamed of, but you just stuck them right in a little space. So imagine what is possible if you just allowed that and said yes to yourself in those places. Or said yes to stepping out and allowing yourself to expand even more, to reach even fuller potentials. Or allowed yourself to take a rest from all the ongoing things that you've been doing. And where are you now? Who have you been saying yes to right now? Have you been saying yes to your boss? Have you been saying yes to your teams? Your family? Or is it also your parents or society's expectation of what you should be doing right now? So would you like to know the secret of how you can turn your passions into actions? Yes, awesome. Only one person over here, or some over there. Okay, so let me ask this again. So would you guys like to know some secrets on how to turn your passions into action?
Yes!
Awesome, great, phenomenal. So secret number 1 to turn your passions into action is to get naked with your passions. Get naked with your passion means that you're going to strip away everything that's external to who you are on the outside. And you're going to get real with yourself. And you're going to look inside of yourself. And you're going to see, what is it that I'm really driven by instead of what I think I should be doing? And this is a constant factor that comes in, right? For me, it was because I wanted to be liked when I was younger. And I did all these things to compensate so that I would be able to be liked, I would be able to connect with people, and I would be accepted in every place that I went to. What is it for you? So one of my passion to action clients, Ming, she was doing an exercise that we're just about to do. And she did it and found out what her passions were. She was a Standard Chartered banker, a banker, and she really wanted to do, after this exercise, she realized that she wanted to actually help old folks. Because she had a grandpa that was aging, and she really wanted to be able to dedicate her time in order to spend more time with older people and make sure that they have a better life after all of their kids are grown up. And her secondary passion was yoga. So after working together, we're finding out ways in which we can use her yoga passion in order to fund her long-term dream of helping more old folks and building business models around that. So this exercise that we're about to do is, we're just going to skip that, is a passion wheel. And what is a passion wheel? A passion wheel is basically a wheel that describes and has components of all areas of your life. And this is an incredible tool to take stock of where you are in your life right now. And you can see that there's 8 elements in here that you're going to be able to find out more information about and see what's important to you. Has anyone seen this before? Ah, a couple of you. Awesome. So we're going to pass out some papers, and what you're going to do is you're going to write down from 0 to 10, rank how fulfilled are you in each area. So it looks something like this. So you could mark it off and I don't see any pens. We're looking for some.
Okay, here are some pens and pencils, but please give them back.
Okay, so we're going to pass out some pens and pencils. Please bring them back after you use them.
Once we print the numbers, we don't need to use the pen again.
That's right.
Great.
Just go ahead and put that in. And when you're done, you can just look up. So personal development, education, wellness. If you have any questions, you can also just raise your hand if you need some more specifics. Yep, over there.
Oh, there's.
No, just pointing up. Okay, cool. Awesome, almost done. Okay, so when you're done with this, what you can do is to connect the dots together. So what you'll do is you will connect these dots together here, 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 depending on where your dots are. Awesome. Look at you guys. So notice that certain areas are highly marked and then certain areas are more skewed. Is that what you guys are noticing? Yeah, like certain areas are more filled out and certain areas are less filled out. So this is called the wheel, the passion wheel. When you're more filled out, it gives you more energy and you're more fulfilled in a lot of areas in your life. And the areas in which you have less fulfillment in is an area that you can look at in more detail and seeing what exactly is going on in those areas. So the next step, once you have, I've seen some people are shading it in, cool. So the next step is to circle the area or put a check mark around the box in the area that you would like to say more yeses to. So more yeses to yourself in. Circle that area. This is a tool that I use to start all of my one-on-ones, groups, because it's an amazing way to just get a snapshot of your life. Where are you right now? And I do this very often, monthly sometimes, or every 6 months, to just get a check-in of where I am. Okay, so right now, the coolest part to go deeper with this model is this simple question up here. So that I could just get everyone's eyes up here. So what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to pair up with a partner share, and we're going to have 30 seconds each, and we're going to ask one question to the next person about that specific area that they have on their list. And the question is, what is most important to you about the area that they're sharing about? And that is one way to elicit what's deeper about that area that fulfills them. Does that make sense? Okay, so pair up into twos and let the other person know what area you're working on, what area you want to say more yeses to, and then they can ask you what is most important to you about that area.
Hey, I'm Kate. Nice to meet you. Oh, cool. I actually didn't have a sheet or a towel. Yeah. So I'm going to like this right.
Do you need a partner? If you haven't already done so, you can switch partners. Switch. right, awesome. Thank you, partners. Thank you for sharing. And wrap it up. Perfect. Smile your partner, thank them. Thank you for sharing the most important thing in your life that you would like to say more yes to. So just to take a quick poll, I'd like to see how many people are in each category. Just to see like where we are as a room. Would you guys like to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, good, awesome. Personal, yes, awesome. Personal development and education. Who wants to say more yes in that area? Nice, about 25% of the room. Health and wellness. Also 10 people or so. Relationships and family. Nice, we've got a good group as well. And spirituality. Nice. Some spiritual seekers. And career and job. Ooh, nice. Handful as well. Good. And finance and money. Oh, one person. You're only one person. Oh, two people. Awesome. Perfect. That's something that is always constantly fascinating me as well. How do you manifest more abundance? And physical environment. So this is like space. All right, we've got one over here. Awesome. Great. And hobbies and fun. Nice. Good group as well. Okay, good. So what are some of the things that you've noticed that is that you're realizing out of this exercise? Just a quick couple of things before we move on. Anyone want to just share some insights? Go for it.
A lot of like the real answers, if you really dig into it, has to do with connectedness to either yourself or to other people.
You guys hear that? A lot of things have to do with yourself and connectedness or other people around you. Are you guys seeing some of that? Okay, awesome. Great. So would you like to know how to find out what is most important about passions and how to find more items that are more important to you and finding out ways to consolidate them? And which brings us to the next secret, which is, would you like to find out more ways and to identify what your passions could be and what's most important to you?
Yes.
Yes? Awesome! Great. So the second secret is from passion to action is to create your own happy list. Happy list is something that I call a happy list because it's not a bucket list. You don't have to wait till the end of your life to do it. And it's happy because it keeps you happy on a day-to-day basis. I've been doing this for... You're having a little laugh here. I've been doing this since 2011, and I constantly refer back to this. This is one of the single most important things that has kept track of what I've been doing. It's measurable, it's trackable, it is, in my geeky, nerdy way, analytical. I think Helen mentioned once that she also did something similar, right? And it's just such a great tool. I'm going to share with you guys how to do that. That you can also use in your lives. This is such an incredible tool. Okay, and so one of the things that I realized that, I also call it the YOLO KPI, because if you only lived once, how are you going to measure your key performance, right? So if you only lived once and you're constantly being measured, I'm like, is there anything embarrassing on there right now that you're reading? If you only lived once, how are you going to measure your life? And how are you going to know whenever something new pops up that it's going to be added to your to-do list? You have a to-do list, but this is your happy list. So the way to use this is every single time you have an idea, a dream, something that excites you, you just put it on the list and you can categorize them or whatever you want, and then you look back on them. I know, switching. Yeah, so this is an example of my list. I did not do this for this thing. I did it, it's just a screenshot of my list. There's about 189 things on them. And from the year of 2012 to 2013, I've just been slashing stuff off. And every single time I go back and look at it, more things get accomplished without me even noticing. So the power of just writing things down and saying yes to it for that particular second that it comes into your mind is a completely powerful tool to capture it. So this is just a net, think of it that way. If you want a copy of this, just text me your name and email and I will just send you a copy of that. I think you can find that on the little sheet.
So is that something you want to do or something that you're already doing?
I've already implemented it since 2011. And
I'm talking about like things that you just put on there.
oh, these are things that, okay, so the things that I put on there are things that, good question, that I want to do and I want to expand in. So for example, let's say art, wood, okay, and the fifth row there. So I want to work with wood at some point. And I want to work with wood maybe in a sense that I want to build a deck out of wood in my future home. However, it's just put on there, and I wrote there in the progress bar that, I booked a class, I did, and I made some spoons out of wood. And that's like a progress to that. It was pretty hard, actually, to carve it out. But so you want to put in everything that you want and everything that you desire, and it can be big or small. So I have like really long-term goals that I want to achieve before I die, or when I'm 50 or something like that. Yeah, one of them is adventures, travel non-physically. I thought was kind of hard to accomplish because they're kind of sci-fi. And the way that I did that was lucid dreaming and astral projection. Yes, go ahead.
No, that's all. I was just going to ask what you did.
Oh yeah, exactly. So I did lucid dreaming, astral projection. Right now, I think that VR could be a really great tool to achieve that as well. And I'm thinking of doing like my next big dream is to do transformational seminars or like groups virtually and having people come out of that experience transformed or going through, blocks and obstacles and just really using gamified experiences to achieve a level of expansion, but that's not part of this talk. Just to share. Yeah, Galapagos, also really cool. Okay, so my background is in innovation. It's in econ. I did a BA in econ, politics, and environment. I just did so many different types of majors that post-it notes are a huge part of my life. So the way that I'm looking at the way that we're doing these happy lists, and this is a bonus tip, is to, once you have all the items on that big list, you can then start drawing out the common themes in the list. And that's one way to find out what is the common thread that you have that kind of joins your passions together. So these happy lists are happy, you kind of distill it one level up, and you see what are these things that are holding these underneath. And so I use a design thinking process to figure that out with people. And then if you take that one step further, it can be even further distilled. And for me, my most important values that run my entire life are three things: freedom, fun, and inspired connections. So as long as I have those three things checked off, I know I'm going to have a good time. And so I bring that in everything that I do, and you guys can find that too. So create your home and happy list is the next step. So one of the things I did, so this is a picture of Africa, East Africa. I did not know how I was ever going to get there. And the cool thing is, of this picture that you can't see and that I really wanted to share with you guys is these lights. So these are tents, you may not be able to see them, and we're camping on the top of the Ngorongoro crater.
Just checking in on timing.
Okay.
Maybe like
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay,
less.
gotcha. Alright, so, and so it's really cool because it looks like a EDM rave, but natural from Ngorongoro crater. Okay, cool. So the third secret is to take one little step forward. So it's using the same analogy of innovation. Think of your life as a huge prototype, as a bunch of little prototypes. What is that MVP that you're going to use to take that small little action towards your passions and ambitions. Once you distill that and you find out what that is, what's a small little step that you can take? So there are 5 frogs on a log, and 4 of them decided to jump off the log. How many frogs are left?
None.
5.
5, that's right. Because they decided to jump off the log. Did they take that step and actually do it? No. So all it takes is that one tiny step. So really quickly, just to show you the way that I did it, I was converting my happy list into paintings, acrylic paintings and collage. And then once I did that, rock climber, diving here with whale sharks diving, healthy food, and things just started appearing. What's that? It is. It's a little dark. You can't see, but there's a little rock climber on the side, right there. And then same thing here. Dolphins, and so on. So the one little game that I want to introduce to you guys is it's a really special game that it's like Secret Santa. One little way to include this into your life is kind of like a Secret Santa game, which is an action Secret Santa game. If you want to know more about it, come up after on stage. I'll be right here. And what we'll do is we're going to get everyone wants to participate in it, and then we'll have this little way of keeping each other on track and to give each other little treats along the way as they accomplish their actions. So when I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. I have a question coming up. When I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. Yeah, we can do it again. When I say yes to me, the world says yes to me. So I highly encourage you guys to say yes to yourselves. Go out there, do amazing stuff. And if you want to have support, come up here, we'll do that little Secret Santa thing. And if you want to connect more deeply, I'm right here as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, at the end of every talk, we do this thing called lightning talks. It's actually fairly new. So if any of you have any short stories, how long is it? 1 minute?
1 minute.
Long
60
lightning talks?
seconds, and then we clap.
60-second lightning talks. If anyone wants to share something they did that aligns with their passions, that's something exciting that has to do with saying yes to yourselves, feel free to come up here and share your story. It's also a good time to practice public speaking if any of you guys are interested in that. I'm going to try and do a mic drop, so in case...
I'll start.
There you go. Thank you.
You want to do time?
Yes.